Live from Los Angeles, California, Buy, Build, Sell podcast with Jasonjpinc.
Welcome everyone to our first ever podcast style episode. I have one of my good friends, Ulrich, here. You've probably seen him in an episode or two on the Buy, Build, Sell show. But today we are talking a little bit, we're going to get into depth on the trades. And I think that talking with someone who I've seen grow up, okay, genuinely, he's seen me grow up too. But I've seen him grow up from being just getting to America.
Yeah.
Just getting to America to being his own, to owning his own business, to literally standing right in front of me and blossoming into the amazing person he's become. So, with that being said, it's very, very, very right off the bat. You need to tell the audience because they don't know how well we know each other. Are we actually friends?
We are.
How long have we been friends for?
10 years.
Wow. That's pretty cool, except for the fact that it really makes me feel like time has gone by so fast. Yeah. Like we have seen so much happen.
So many things.
It's crazy. And you still haven't learned English.
I know.
That was a joke. Okay. With that being said, I really, there's a massive effort going on in the country right now to get youth into the trades, right? So you're like a prime example of somebody who came from nothing, literally moved to America pretty much know English. I think you know how to say hello, how are you?
That's it.
Right?
Not even that.
Yeah, probably not even that. You came to America, you had nothing. Obviously, so I know Ulrich because I used his uncle. His uncle was an electrician and his uncle used to work for me. And that's how I met you.
Exactly.
Was that the first thing you did where you're just like, okay, I need to get a job? And like, what was the thought process that like, because how old are you?
Right now, 28.
No, so you were 18 then?
Yes.
Okay, so you moved here at 18. What was the first thing you were thinking? Was it like, okay, I need to learn English? Was it I need to get a job? Was it need to like?
Well, when I just came, like, my family, they told me like, you have to work now. I'm like, okay. So my uncle was an electrician. Well, he is an electrician. So he told me, come to my company, work. Like, nighttime, go to school to learn little English. And that's how I did it. So I started working, like learning electricity and English at the same time.
Do you think that this was a career path, or did you think you were just like, I just needed to make money? And you have to, like, because remember, who you are today is way different than who you were then.
Yeah.
And I want to get into the mindset of an 18-year-old who maybe not even necessarily, because again, not everyone is coming from a different country. Most people are actually already here, right? Like the youth that has come here as children, things like that. They're getting older. They're Personally, I look at it and go, 10 years to create, in my opinion, you may not feel that way, but in my opinion, 10 years to create a success is completely viable and completely normal and appropriate. I think that timeline, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the passion, all of those things that it takes to create success, it should take 10 years.
Yeah.
It's not common to just become successful. It takes that time. So I'm curious, forget about now, when you were then, were you even like, were you thinking this is just a job? Were you thinking this could be a career? Were you thinking this was going to be a long-term thing? Like, what made you even stay around? And I know it wasn't because of me.
No. It's just, it was only because I have to work. I have to pay bills and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't like the job. Like, I just woke up because I have to go.
Right.
You know?
You're still like that.
No, now it's different. It's different. Yeah, it was like this, you know, because I have to work. I didn't have a choice.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like.
So how long did that last for until you saw it from a different perspective? What changed the perspective for you?
Like after a few years, you know, a few months, a few years, I started like, you know, like, oh, I think I like this job. Because in the beginning, I was thinking, this is not for me, you know, like, but after I start getting like, you know, like jobs from the sides, so making a little more money, and like,
you're like, that was really easy, and that guy just gave me $500 for it.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's crazy, because, you know, people start calling you, like, and you see more money, but, in the reality, I didn't like it, the job, I didn't like it, you know, and I started like, what I'm doing, like, after 4 to 5 years, you know, I start learning more and more.
And really, you probably enjoyed more the business than the actual function, right? Like you still to this day, you don't like turning the screwdriver. You prefer the business.
Yeah, of course. That's a good point, because it's like, you know, you're busy.
Yes.
Like your mind is busy. You're running here. I like that, you know, like kind of crazy life.
Yes. And you get to wake up at 10.
9:30. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it was for that.
So let's call it, you know, that's a normal thing, by the way. That's called apprentice years. Okay. So, or journeyman, right? You take 4 years to become knowledgeable in something. Right, but what I'm curious about is, so you're saying for the first 4 years that you worked, you didn't even like the job. Were you learning the you know the basics and the understanding of electricity, or were you just doing what was told?
Basic stuff, you know, like no 100%. I'm still learning right now.
Yeah.
But
so am I.
Yeah. So it's like I was. Maybe like 70%, you know.
In Los Angeles, at least, on the residential homes, you're not required to do mechanical plans. So we never had a plan that says, okay, you're going to take one line from here and run it like this, and one line from here and run it like this. So everything was done inside of their heads, right, and on site. And it was always like this maze to me. I'm like, how do you even know? And then you would get to a point where you're doing houses, you know, you sell the house, the client wants something extra, wants a different thing, you know, can we add a switch here? Can we, you know, add a unit to this room, whatever? And you're like, oh man, okay, well, how did we do it? Where is the
That's
wire?
the question.
Where is the wire coming from? Or you know, can this carry that load? Is it going to be too much? Is it going to be too little? Whatever, all these questions. And slowly, I mean, over 100 homes, you figure out, you're like, okay, well, normally we go under, and then we go over. For these things, we go over. For this, we go under. Or we keep everything at, what, 20, 30 inches or something like that?
48.
48 inches. So we keep all the wires at 48 inches, and then we try to do runs like that, and we know that we're coming up and we're coming back down. So you get kind of used to how someone does it, but everyone does it different. Everyone has their own thing. Everyone's got their own mojo to how they do it. And if you're using different guys, it can get really confusing as the builder, because you're like, wait, who did this house? How did they do it again? You know, and so for me, because I never really had to learn the science behind electricity, like I was never like forced to really truthfully understand it. It's one of my shortcomings. I'd be straight about that. Like, I don't know electricity that well.
It's easy though.
No, but I don't know if you know my stories, but like I have been shocked and burned by electricity way too many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? No, I didn't know.
I almost set a house on fire. So I was trying to do a grounding wire in a panel, and the wire was caught between two wires, and it had the cap on it that closes into the panel, like the cover on the bottom. And I was trying to like pull it out slowly, and I didn't turn off the power.
Bad.
Oh my god. It was my worst electrical burn ever. And that's when I was like, I'm not touching electrical anymore. Like, I don't care. You know, it's like not worth not worth me being so stupid. So I mean, I understand the concepts and I understand how to do it, but I can't calculate a load very well. I can't do the math on like whether something is actually gonna be sufficient or not sufficient.
Of course.
Like, I don't know the transfers of volts and watts and things like this. Like, I just don't know that. So, and I'm okay with it. I've resolved myself to this resolution. But like, how long did that take you to understand? And then I want to get to year 5 and up.
Well, to learn that the stuff that you're asking, like, it's like it took me like 2 years to learn.
From first year to second year?
Yeah.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like if somebody doesn't know the electrical work, it's very hard. But if you know, like if you start working, it's really fast to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, to run wires between light to the light, this light to the light, you know, it's...
So basically you're calling me an idiot.
No. No, I'm not, but it's like, you know, it's easy.
Okay.
But it's different when you start doing the kitchens to, you know, how many amps is the fridge, the ovens. That's something different. You have to know the plans that they have to.
Yeah.
Before you buy the microwave.
Yeah.
You know, you have to run the power though.
So fine. So year 4, you actually are enjoying yourself. You're knowledgeable.
Basically.
What happened? Are you still working for somebody?
Yeah, I was working for my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did that end?
When we finished everything, like working for them.
Year 8?
No.
Year 7?
Year 7.
Year 7.
When we did Bella Vista?
I was going to ask you a question. Who gave you your first breakout performance or first breakout role?
You did it. Yeah. You give me the first chance.
And you know what's funny? He always tells me this, that I gave him his first chance. I didn't even realize that I was doing that. I was like, this guy, I've known him for years. He totally knows what he's doing. Like, why would I even assume he doesn't know what he's doing? And I genuinely thought
that I did a lot of houses.
That you have already done a lot of houses, that you had your business going already, that like there wasn't some like, you know, question. I remember you brought in a random guy to like help you. I think his name was Carlos.
Okay.
He doesn't work with you anymore.
No.
Yeah, he fell off a ladder at the job site. You remember this? You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, whatever, not a big deal. He's insured, he's licensed, he's bonded, you know, all that other stuff. I'm not worried about it. And then to find out later, like, that was your first job?
Yeah, like, it was.
Like, yeah, I probably would have been way more nervous about that situation, especially since I found out also you were short on laborers, so you were getting your laborers through like Facebook Marketplace or something.
No, and it was my first house, and you made me do the first house in 3 days, Jason. Right, it was good.
Sounds crazy, but was it doable?
Yeah.
How long do I give you now? I give you a lot more time now.
More time. Like a week.
I give you wait now. Yeah. I definitely give you more time. I got soft in my old age. Well, we used to do jobs like, the second framing was done, we were drywalling within 4 weeks. I mean, that means that plumbing, electrical, HVAC, low voltage, insulation, all has to get done, and fire sprinklers. And it was like a puzzle piece, putting it all together, getting the right people in at the right exact time, where they're not stepping on somebody, they're not pushing somebody out of the way, they're not ruining someone else's work. And you're getting all these inspections lined up because you can't even put drywall on the house until fire sprinklers are signed off, and they have to be the last ones. So you're like playing this game, and I got too tired of that. But now we're maybe like 6 weeks. So just a little bit extra time. That's going a long way. But so you were done at 6 months, 6 years. So from year 1 to year 6 or 7, you took yourself from somebody who knew nothing to a professional. And by the way, a professional constitutes as someone who's paid for their services, right? So I'm still not a good contractor, but people pay me to be a professional one, so you got to put on that hat. Regardless of how we may look at ourselves on the inside, because I think we all kind of always want to do better and be better, and all of us go through scenarios in our head of like how we could have done something better, right? So we're always kind of growing and
you're right,
and recreating ourselves. But you became from year 1 to year 7, you became a professional. What was it? Because you were doing a lot of work for your uncle and your family. You took on a bunch of small jobs because you had done a project for me before Valley Vista.
A small project.
And
I think that you owe me a little money from there.
Oh my God. You can't drop it.
You kill me. It's okay.
I squeezed him so hard on that job. I'll tell you today. I'll tell you right now.
I was feeling like after that it's gonna come like big stuff. I don't know, but
let me ask you something. Did it?
Yes.
Did it change your life?
Oh yes, a lot.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's another lesson for people out there is first of all, you never know what job is going to change your life. You never know what service you provide to somebody is going to be the winning job or the losing job, because there are a ton of people out there who just take advantage of somebody, right? Like I promise you I have more work coming line is the worst one. I hate telling people that because it's not true. It's fully dependent on you as the service provider to make that person want to give you more work, right? So it's a hard trap to fall into, because as service providers, we want to lower our price to get in the door. Lowering the price hurts our serviceability, hurts our profitability, hurts the work in general, right? But it can lead to so much more. You probably didn't make money on that job.
I didn't.
You probably
not even $1, Jason.
I'm going to tell you the truth on camera.
Let's do it.
And Nick is going to see this and go, why'd you tell him? Because I probably still remember the numbers. Maybe plus or minus, okay? Me and a buddy of mine were doing a small residential flip. I don't do flips very often. That was probably the only one I've done in the last like 4 years, 3 years. So I don't do it very often. And my buddy, who I was doing it with, he's not a licensed electrician, but he knows electrical. His dad's a licensed electrician. And his dad came in and gave us a bid for like $9,000. Said, oh yeah, for $9,000 I can do it. Nick his guys said that he would probably be able to do it for like 5,000 or 6,000. Okay, he's gonna be so pissed. You can see his face burning red right now. And I was like, you know what? Let me call this guy I know. I don't know what he's up to. It had been.
I think like 3 years we didn't talk.
Did it? No. That's not true. That's not true because you always helped me out in my house.
I know your house.
You
I
always
was trying to remember. Yeah.
So like for service calls and things like that, I always called him because he was just always like ready to go jump and do a job. Like for him to run and get $500 was like.
That was good.
Yeah, love it. So I always sent him for like little jobs, go landscaper jobs, like add an outlet here, right? And like he would always go and do my house when I had issues. And then, so I'm like, let me call him. I had no expectation of what your price would be, but I'm pretty sure your price ended up being like $3,500 or something like that. Right?
Really?
Was it like that?
No.
It was cheap like that. It was super cheap.
No.
It was less?
It was more.
How much?
4,500.
4,500. I wasn't even that off. Okay. 4,500, and I'm pretty sure it was less, and I gave you more at the end.
I think it was like 40 or 4,000. I think it was
okay, 4,000. Like 4,000.
And you give me 500 extra for my tips.
There you go. I'm always a good guy. I love those stories. I'm a classic gentleman. And man, what happened? So you ended up being that low, and Nick was like, "Let's do it," and he did it. He killed it. He like did the job, did everything that had to get done, and like I said, probably made no money because you probably did the job in like 2-3 days.
Yes.
But no.
It take like a week.
It was a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. But you basically redid everything.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like you basically did everything,
and I was working
shocked.
too.
Yeah, and you were working.
And I was working
too. He like couldn't believe it. He was like, "Oh my God, Jason! Like you robbed him." I'm like, "What? He set the price. I didn't set the price. I didn't tell him what the price should be." But I will say that changed the trajectory of our working relationship.
Yeah.
Because I had, that at this time I had just split with my partner. So this is why I was experimenting with jobs. I was like, okay, actually, I'm doing my own projects. And I was experimenting. I was waiting for permits, so I tried this remodel. Getting everything to go. And literally, that experience led me to say, "Hey, Folgers has got it." And I didn't even blink.
No, the good thing is I charge for that job. I charge you really cheap, but you never say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you another job like everybody does."
Yeah, no, I hate that. Oh my God. If you are somebody out there who says that, stop. Even if it's true, don't say it. It is the worst thing to say because I promise you, you won't know until the job is done that you really want to give them more work. And to have somebody working for you with this carrot of like teasing there's more work on the way is never going to get them to perform to the level of your expectation because it's not in their hands. If you dropped 3 jobs on them at one time, that's a completely different story. That's a different story, right? Because now they have 3 different jobs that they need to perform on. They need to provide for you because if they don't, they will get fired. They will lose those jobs and, so on, right? So don't tease people with more work. Just tell them what you have. You're allowed to tell them that you have more work, but that doesn't mean that you're giving them, right? Something that I say is, this is the job I have coming up. I'm happy to send you other jobs as I have them so you can take a look. Right?
That's it.
I'm not promising you the gig. I'm not promising you the work because it's either going to piss them off when they don't get it, right? They're gonna say, oh, I gave that guy $1,000 discount, and this is how he treats me, or this is what happened. That was supposed to be my job. It never ends up going well. The job you're working on now is the biggest job you've ever worked on.
Yes, it's a big pride.
Who gave you that opportunity?
That small little pride.
This is so. Just so I'm clear, okay. Year 7, you go on your own. Jason actually, without knowing it, gives you
the first job.
The opportunity that not because I'm not taking credit for your success by no means. You did that on your own. You got your clients. You did the work that you had to do. You put in all that effort. Without me even knowing, though, I gave you the confidence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You didn't know it was my first job.
Yeah. But I gave you that confidence without even realizing it. And you're like, yeah, I can do this.
Yes.
How long did it take you from starting your own business to getting to a place of comfort? Like, you just bought your own home. Like, you have an addiction to cars, so you buy a lot of cars. But at what point were you like, man, I'm comfortable. Like, this is good. My life is working really well.
Well, I think when COVID started.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
That's shocking. Tell me about that.
Because I started knowing more people. Like, a lot of people calling me.
Just random out of the blue.
After, I think for me, the COVID time, it was the best part.
Really?
Yes. That I did I started I think more than 7 more contractors.
Wow.
Yes.
How many were you working with before that? 3?
Maybe you and one more guy.
Okay.
That's it. I had two contractors.
And it was just was it the marketing? Was it referrals? What
I
brought
think
that
it was
business?
referred from some friends to friends.
Okay.
I think it was like that.
Did the marketing ever do anything for you? Like, I know, like, you put your signs on my fence and stuff like that.
Yeah, too. Yeah, I think one contractor came in from over there.
Where's my commission on that job?
We'll talk about later, so please. Yeah, I think yes. One of the contractors, he got my number from over there.
And did that actually continue?
No.
Or was it a one job thing?
It was only one little job,
okay.
Little crazy, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So your business changed during COVID. What would you say?
But it changed a lot. It was okay,
It allowed you to keep people on payroll full time.
Yes.
Before you were just kind of like, hey, come work for me for 2 days.
I
have a job. I have a job for the next 4 weeks, but that's it.
Yeah.
Now you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
All the time. You're constantly working.
They're working every day.
Every day. What would you say your best advice is to the 18-year-old you?
Good question.
If you ran into somebody who was 18, lost, confused, not passionate about anything really. I mean, you weren't necessarily gun ho for the trades. You were working there for the money. So what would you say to 18-year-old you?
Well, when I was 18, Jason, I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. Maybe they're like this right now, thinking where they are. I don't know, but I only can tell them
My advice would be different than yours. I'm curious what yours is.
I don't know. Like
what I always tell people, and again, this is just to help think about, relatively what kids at this age are thinking. They're thinking, how can I support myself? They're not necessarily thinking, what am I going to enjoy? They're not thinking about is it going to support a family? They're not thinking about, is it going to, can I buy the things I want to buy? They're just thinking, how do I have my own place, and I'm not around my mom and my dad all the time, and
Yeah, you're right. But that, like me, I see all my friends, like, they do different kind of stuff, right? And I see one of my friends, he's doing this, like, let's see, cars.
Yeah.
And I, like, oh, this guy is making money. I want to do the same thing. But that's totally wrong,
Yes.
Because if this guy is doing something, this guy is doing different stuff, and you think you're going to be good because he's doing the thing, so you're totally wrong. You have to be like, you have to do like, whatever you feel is good for you. Like, I don't know.
Well, how do you get through? Because I would say the hardest thing is getting through those 4 years, right?
Yeah.
How do you get through those 4 years of learning to love something, learning to appreciate where you're at, and go, this is a vessel for me to transform my life?
I didn't know nothing like this, like right now, I didn't see me in this position, like.
Neither did I.
Yeah, and
for you.
and I said I want to keep going, like, keep trying to be better every day, but I didn't realize all this. It's just it just happens, like, because I was like, keep going, I was pushing myself.
Yeah, I mean, for me, to be a contractor or to even work in the trades, for me, growing up, that was never an option. That was never even something that was like talked about, Not to be stereotypical, but like, it was like doctor, lawyer, or accountant, like that's what the expectation is, right? And I remember taking a job for a contractor and being a laborer. I started out being a laborer.
Wow.
And my two pieces is one, take opportunity, right? There was an opportunity in front of me, and I didn't question the opportunity. I said, where I wasn't happy. At that time I was working at a pizza store. I was trying to be a musician.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was working at a pizza store, I was trying to be a musician, and I was in college. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't making money at the pizza store, obviously. I was getting paid like $8 an hour. And I wasn't being successful in music. Like, I found that I wasn't capable of producing my own success. It was always dependent on somebody else to say, this is good or not good, right? So I wasn't happy, and someone gave me an opportunity to go work for a contractor. And it wasn't like, oh, take every opportunity you can. It's take opportunity, right? So when you weren't happy in something, you have this hole open up for you. You fill the void, right? You go and you do it. And for me, what got me through, very similarly, like, you don't know that this is going to be the thing that you do with your life.
Of course.
You get into it, and the only thing that you can do, and this is like my best advice to give to people, is I became like a racehorse with blinders on. That's the analogy that I use. Like I was just super hyper focused on getting good at what I did.
Yeah.
Not necessarily did I enjoy it. Not necessarily did I love every single day. We worked.
Yes.
We worked hard, and to say that to know that then I would be who I am today, same. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
I think that like other people, when they look at you back then, they can foresee things like that. Like I think that I'll finish my thought, but like, I took an opportunity and then I ran with it. I didn't start looking at what is my friend doing, what's my friend doing, what's my friend doing. I wasn't focused on how other people were being successful. I wanted to focus on how I could be successful. And that was like, I think a major thing for me. Something that I didn't realize I was doing. I just sort of inherently did it because that was just my personality. Like I wasn't jealous of
Someone.
anyone else or curious. I was just like, hey, like these are my passions. This is what I love to do. And then I slowly started to see myself fitting in. So I just kept on running. It wasn't until I was like, I was probably like 27 around that time. This is 5 years ago. Where I like looked up and was like, oh wow. Like people are like I've done all this, which is ironic. It's about 7 years for me too. At that time, that was about the 7-year mark. And I was only at like year 7 where I was like, oh wow. Like you kind of wake up and you're like, oh wow, like look at how much I achieved, look at how much I accomplished.
Yeah.
And then knowing that, okay, like you got this down, and now you can jump to the next thing, or you can try something else, or experiment with something else, or take another opportunity. But I would say, going back to you, I remember, because you probably didn't feel this way. You were probably actually very frustrated and probably very bothered. But I remember when you were working for your uncle, I wouldn't even call your uncle. I would call you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Because you were the one who took care of it. You were the one who resolved the problems. You were the one who was, there working to deal with the issues, right? You became the person that I relied on. So to look back at history, I could have told you you'd be here. It would have been second nature for me to assume that, like, even if I never spoke to you again since then, I would have assumed, yeah, for sure. Like, we're just probably, attrition side. Running his own business, doing his own thing. Right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny when like you can see things from the other person's perspective. Kind of like a camera. This is my last question then. Maybe. Depends on your answer. Because it might probe another question. What was it that gave you the ability to go from dealing with one contractor or two contractors to 7 contractors? I mean, that's not double the amount of work. That's triple the amount of work essentially, maybe even more. How does somebody go ahead and do that? How does somebody, does it take 4 years of work to get the references to grow your business like that? Can you just start a business and already walk into 8, having 8 consistent clients? Like, how did you figure out that you can actually operate like that? Like, that's a huge thing. What changed in your head? Because I'll tell you, it's usually a mental state that allows you to function, right? People tell me all the time, they're like, how do you build so many houses? Right? I mean, I don't even know that I'm building that many houses. You know? I don't allow the number to dawn on me. I just take every single moment and every single project and every single day as much as I can. I'm not going to get to every single project. You know, I'm not going to be able to help every single project manager every single day, but I'm able to delegate and structure and schedule to meet everyone's necessary needs of me, right? I know that when Ed needs me, I make sure I'm there for him. When Jose needs me, I make sure I'm there for me. When Beto needs me, I'm there for him. When Alex needs me, I'm there for him. When everyone needs something from me, it may not be at that moment, but I show up. I can text them, I can call them, I can FaceTime them, I can get there tomorrow. I'm not saying that's for me, but like for you, it's a much different business. Yes. Because for me, I call Old Age and I don't care how Old Age gets it done, right? I'm not focusing on the micro of the business. I'm focused on the macro of the business. I'm, you know, the general construction, right? So all the micro pieces, it's, you know, the plumber, the electrician, all these trades that come through the projects, I'm not noticing how they run their businesses. I do notice when they're not running them successfully, because if they aren't running them successfully, they're fired, right? Because that means they're not performing where they need to be. I'll tell you straight, I mean, even on days where you're busy, even on days where you don't show up and you tell me you're gonna come but you don't come, you come through, right? You do actually make it happen. It might take me extra effort to be like, hey, this is actually important, I need you to show up, and then you'll actually make it happen. Because sometimes you might look at a task and go, that's not a level 10, that's a level 1, right, in your eyes. But for me, it might be a level 10 because I need something to follow after that, right? Exactly. Like, for instance, the backsplash at Bluebell. I need that box in because they're gonna template for the slab. And if that box isn't there, they're not gonna cut the box in stone, right? But like, you look at it and you go, I can get to it, not a big deal. I look at it and go, if they template tomorrow and it's not done, we're both in trouble, you know? Mm-hmm. But I'm curious from your perspective, how you were able to take a business that genuinely was just a side hustle, essentially, because you were working for somebody, you took on a side hustle that was more than you could chew, that got you to a job that allowed you to break free from your daily job and start your own business. Going from that to probably a year and a half to 2 years later, COVID, to growing your business during COVID, which sounds incredibly difficult to do, taking it to the next level. What changed for you mentally that allowed you the ability to do that? And then what were the small things that changed within your business that let that happen?
Well, first of all, like you say, you know, I was with 1 or 2 contractors. So now I have more, like, you know, I think 8, 10 contractors. But when you call me, different guys.
Adjustments that allow you to be more organized within the system?
Yeah. You know, like I say, you know, like, sometimes you say when I don't answer you, you like text me, hey, answer, hey, phone, blah, 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 blah. You know, I have to.
Don't make me sound so mean.
No, it's not.
Don't worry,
you.
They saw me yelling at Caesar already.
It's not only you, it's like everybody, you know, they want the service. And I'll try to, if you call me for next day, I'll try to help, you know. I try to be over there on the job site. Like, I think they like, because I'm in the job sites. Sometimes some contractors, they're not going over there. So they only send people, blah, 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 blah. They don't check what they do, you know, but I check everything.
Yeah, because you'd be in a lot of trouble if you didn't.
No, I check everything what they do, and I think, like, you know, I answer the phone, sometimes I don't. But
No, only when you're sleeping. What's the next number? And I will tell you, in the same breath, I will also give you advice to say, don't make the goal a number too, because not for me to brag, but me personally, I probably give you how much of your work every year? 70%? Probably that or more.
Yes. You're the. How many houses you do a year? Like 7 houses?
Like 10 to 15.
10, yeah. I have contractors, they only do 2 houses.
Right.
You know, they're not like.
So you know, keeping that in mind, you're one contractor that you have, which it's dangerous sometimes too, but one contractor is giving you the same work as 3 contractors.
Exactly.
So I don't want you to put the goal on the number, but in some respects, having the number is a good marker and a good target to hit. What is the next target for you? Where are you going? Where's your business heading? Do you want to have a Rolodex of 20 contractors? Do you want to start a service company instead? You know?
I don't know how many contractors are gonna be, you know? It's not like I want 20, I want 25. We don't know. I don't know.
So what's the goal? Where do you want to, what does next year look like for you? You just want to be more professional.
Yeah, you know, I want to learn more every day.
Yeah. Do you think that starting a service end to your business is a good idea, or is it a bad idea? You know, handling calls for, you know.
Yeah, I'll try. I was trying last year, but I couldn't. I was trying to do service call, you know, 1 crew for here, 1 crew for the new construction and blah blah blah. But it was hard. I was very busy.
Oh.
Why? Because a lot of people that I was expecting they wanna work for me, like they prefer to stay home and get paid.
Yeah. Thanks, COVID.
You know? Yeah. A lot of people right now, they don't want to work.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's definitely a tough thing to work through. I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you see, my field, I was looking to hire new people.
Yeah.
Like last year in COVID, before COVID, I was hiring people too. I think more than 50 administration text me.
And now, 0.
And now I posted, like 2 months ago, I posted, right?
Yeah.
Not even one person texted
Not
me.
even one. Wow.
1 person.
You gotta get into the metaverse. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming out and talking with me today.
Thank you, Jason.
It was
Appreciate
huge.
You.
People don't realize the amount of hard work that it takes to get where you are today. I do. And I want to say, stop charging me so much.
You have the special prices and you know that, Jason.
Don't tell that to me on camera.
No,
they're going to find out. No, I really, I look at you today and I'm like, I'm impressed, I'm proud. And I look forward to seeing how much more you're going to grow.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
you, everybody.
I hope this was educational, informative, something that you learned. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, what you thought the best advice was. If there was a moment in this video that you think would be worth repeating, don't be afraid to let us know. We'll cut it up and we'll let you share it. I promise. I'll see you on the next episode.